Hello, everybody, and welcome back at Like a Pro. Thank you so much for joining me here today at these new episodes of Like a Pro. I'm so excited to be here. I can see RB in the chat. RB, what's up? It's been a long time. I've not seen you. Visit. Nice to see you, Jazz. And of course, everybody that is watching from YouTube, make sure to head on behance.net/live or b.net/Adobe Live, and you're going to be able to say hi in the chat, take part to this stream. Remember, at Like a Pro, we're going to learn how to create social media assets, icon, logos, videos, everything that you need to really take your brand a step forwards, especially if you're starting a new side business. And that's what we're going to be doing today together. I'm going to show you how to use Lightroom to enhance your photos like a pro and to create some shots that you'll be able to use on your e-commerce or maybe on your Instagram. Now, I'm going to show you different techniques, so feel free to just watch and relax. You can always come back and replay the video, and of course you can experiment and take more time with these techniques. So as I said, I can see the chat on YouTube moving in the background. I will not be able to read it, but if you are on behance.net/live here with me, please come and say hi in the chat. My name is Clady. I'm your host here today for this Thursday morning here at Adobe Live, and I'm streaming from Manchester, UK. But I look forward to see where everybody's from. I love our wonderful international community here at Adobe Live. So let me go ahead and see in the chat who's there and where you guys are watching from. Visit Michelle, Jazz, nice to see you. Umacron in the chat, lovely to see you here. Also, we have Apurva, nice to see you. Sam Peterson in the chat. Make sure to keep your eyes peeled because Sam shares a very useful links throughout the stream, so you can go ahead and just click on those and you'll be able to just follow along. Richard Wells, nice to see you. Andrea Soller, lovely to see you here. Welcome, welcome everybody. Fantastic. As you know, we have only less than 30 minutes together to learn how to sharpen our skills and design like a pro, in this case, by creating some nice picture for your product. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a real case study today. I'm actually wearing the brand that we're gonna be working with. It's called Impress Skateboarding. It's a friend of mine that decided to launch this side business. I want to support them so much because every product that they sell, they plant a tree. As you can see from my background, this is actually Chorley here in the northwest of the UK. I love nature, so I thought that it was absolutely amazing what they do by supporting nature, and I was like, yeah, of course. Let me go ahead and help you out and see how we can transform an everyday's photo that you can take with your own phone into a photo that you can actually use for your Instagram feed. So I can see Namdi from Nigeria, Michelle from Pennsylvania, Pratabya, I'm so sorry if I say your name wrong, from Thailand. Thank you so much for being here with us from all over the world. That's super, super exciting. As I said, I'm here in the UK, but welcome from all over the world. We love this wonderful, safe, beautiful community here at Adobe Live where we learn together. But let's jump into my screen real quick so we can start today project. So as you can see, we're going to start in Lightroom. I'm going to go ahead real quick and jump into my desktop so you can see the images that I've been sent. So this is a photo of my friend Mikey with his skateboard. As you can see, it has the logo of the Impressive Skateboarding, but the photo it's probably been taken with some Instagram filters or some photo filters. Definitely not the most professional photo to showcase online. It looks like the background is way too bright. So we're gonna have to give him a hand and make sure that we show how to fix that like a pro. And then we have another photo on the contrast, which is a final product photo that is perhaps taken by a very professional photographer. So, not everybody has access to this sort of photos. I know that they've done a great job, but I really want to show how you and anybody can take photos from your mobile and transform it into some nice product asset that you can use in your own business. And by the way, let me know from the chat. Sorry, I think I got confused. I got too many mouths here. Let me know in the chat if you have a side business or if you're planning to start a side business, if you're a freelance. Let me know in the chat. I'm always very interested to see what everybody is doing out there. Right. So let me go ahead and someone is calling. No, I think that's the music. Let me go ahead and change the music. My mobile is on mute, so it must have been the tune. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the music. Hopefully that is changed right now. I cannot hear the music that you can hear, but my phone is off, so it wasn't that. But all right, so hopefully that's done. And let me show you something that you can do on a Mac. You can just simply click and drag your image on top of your Lightroom icon, and it will right away open up. At the moment it's here, it's loading. In a second it will give us the opportunity to add it into Lightroom. Let me see what's going on in here. So all you do is just click and drag inside the app, and then select add one photo. Once the photo is selected, it will go ready for edit. I think that the reason why this image was having a little issue in getting added is because it's already there. So it's perhaps want to create a copy. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this image real quick. So I'm just going to call it 01. So we are not going to have any issue there. So we can go ahead and drag it inside Lightroom. Otherwise, here we go. Yeah, so it was already there. That's why it created a little issue there. So we can just go ahead and click on add one photo. And in fact, we're going to go ahead and also create a duplicate. Otherwise, another way in which you can open images is simply to go ahead and click on add photos, and then browse your computer, select the images that you want to add, click on them, make sure that they are selected, and then add one photo. In this case, I'm just creating duplicate because we have that image again. Another way to stay organized, and especially when we're going to jump into Spark in just a moment, is to use your albums. You're going to see the albums here at the bottom of your panels inside Lightroom. So all you have to do is to click on this plus icon, and you'll have the option of creating an album or creating a folder. Now, what's the difference? A folder is like in every machine, a folder that will contain multiple albums, where an album, and is right there behind me. So let me go ahead and jump on the other side of the screen so you can perhaps see that better. The album contains photo, and a folder can contain multiple albums. So in this case, as you can see, holidays here is a folder that has different albums from Greece, from Italy, of my different holidays. While here, we're going to go ahead and create a new album, which will just contain the photo for impressive skateboarding. I'm just going to call it IS skate, and then create. Now, once you add a photo, you can also, in this case, we have this photo here, right click on the image and then add the image inside our skate album. So once we go ahead here and we click into our album, we know already that we have our skate. So look what happened here. I created my album inside my holidays folder. No worries about that. We can always move it inside another album over here, so you can always drag and drop. And let me go ahead and resize my window because it looks like we cannot see all the albums over there. Fantastic. Now we'll be able to see them all. And as you can see before, so here we go, it's going here inside test. I already created an album for my impressive photos. I'm going to try and just create a new one that we can use independently. So make sure that no album is selected. I'm going to go ahead and create a new album. And then click on create. And hopefully we're going to be able to add a photo right away into it. fantastic. So this is the image that it was brought to us, and we're gonna go ahead and start to create some edit on this photo right away. So something that we can see here is that I want to go ahead and start to change these colors of the image. As you can see, we have a lot of blue going on, a lot of different tint in the images. So the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and use is the color slider here, the color options, and change the temperature into a warmer temperature. So slightly moving it to the right towards the yellow as well. Now you want to be very careful with the vibrancy because the image is really, really vibrant already. I will not suggest to use saturation. Now the difference between vibrance and saturation, and why I always recommend to use vibrance instead of saturation, is because vibrance will protect oversaturated pixels. So, you know, what happened in this image where you can see so bright, so exposed, overexposed, using vibrant rather than saturation will preserve that, and will also protect the skin tone. So whoever edited this image earlier, you can see that we have already some issues there. So look at the difference. If I go ahead and bump up the saturation, we basically lose all the details on this side of the image, while if I use the vibrance here, that change is a little bit more subtle, and you especially can see it on the actual image here. So look what the saturation slider does, and look what the vibrance does. So it's a little bit of a less stronger way of editing images. Fantastic. So a trend, I skate on iMac. I see a trend happening. Sean, and nice to see you in the chat. Fantastic. So another thing that you want to do in order to get rid of some of the haze that happens usually in the image, and I'm going to jump on the other side of the screen as we're using this side of the panels now, is to go ahead and work with one of these haze panel. Now I'm going to reset the effect to bring the photo to the original effect, so we can go ahead and play with it. And as you can see, he had quite a lot of haze, especially at the front of his clothing. So what we're going to do here under effect is to make sure to use the dehaze slider in order to clean that up. And also clarity, look how beautiful that is. With the clarity, we have a wonderful effect. Although you can notice that we have some issue in the face and in the area on the top of the image. So let me show you how you can create some very specific and detailed edit in part of the photo with a new upgraded tool which was already there in order to create local adjustment inside Lightroom, and that is now called mask. This is the icon in which you can go ahead and start masking. You can find different techniques for masking. First of all, click on the plus icon, and then you can use different way of selecting a subject, so of creating a mask. So the first new implement is to select a subject. I'm just going to go ahead and show you how they work. At the moment we have Lightroom that is looking at the image and trying to find a subject as an use. You can see here we already have a wonderful selection that is already created. Now if that's what you don't want, if you want to create a specific selection, you can actually go on the plus icon and select brush, and from here you can start to brush certain area of the image. In this case we're going to try to get a better view of the face, and then you can go ahead and start to play with exposure. And most importantly, before we do that, so double click to reset any slider, I will suggest to play with highlights and shadow. Highlights and shadow will control the brighter and darker areas of an image. So if we drag, as you've seen, the slider of the highlights toward the left, we're going to reveal some of the details that are hidden under the brightest area. And the same for the shadow. Look at that. Now we have the face that is completely covered in shadow, while if we drag the slider to the right, we're going to make the darker pixels lighter. And in this case, we're going to be able to bring up all those details that are hidden in the image. Now, something else that you can do here is also go back to the clarity. And in this case, we wanted to drag the slider on the opposite side. As you can see, we have a much better view of Mikey's face here. Perfect. So now we can go ahead and create another mask by clicking on the plus icon, and again select brush, and we can click on the area of the body that we wanted to use in terms of creating that dehaze effect like we did before. So I'm going to go ahead and simply paint on it, and you can use the right bracket to make your brush larger or the left bracket to make it smaller. Once you are done here, all you have to do is to then start to edit these selection that you've created. So again, I'm going to go ahead and start to use the highlight and shadows in order to reveal some of the details. But most importantly here, we definitely have to work with the dehaze and with the clarity, because it looks like that there is a lot going on in terms of having the image there very, very bright. Fantastic. Once you are happy with your masking, what you can do, you can also shift the hue. I'm going to go ahead and select fine adjustment just to make sure that we do not create a huge shift. And something else that I want to do as well is enhance a little bit this part here of the skate, just because we really want to bring out our lovely product. So again, click on plus, and with the brush, all you have to do is simply paint on top of your image again in order to add it to your mask. We can go on, and I know the time is almost done, so you can keep editing the images by using this masking, which will allow you to work on a local area of the image, or select the global edits. And here again, every edit that you're gonna go ahead and add will take place on the overall image. That's why they're called global edits. Now, once we're done with our image, the beauty is that once we create this image and edit it as we wish, remember, we created our folder. So let's go ahead and jump on Spark real quick and look what happened here. We're gonna go ahead and start with an Instagram post. And once we do that, Spark will automatically give us a resolution of 1080 by 1080. But most importantly, once we go ahead and browse our photos, we have direct access to our Lightroom library. Isn't that mind-blowing? Everything that we do on Lightroom is right away here available on Spark. So we can see all the different artboard that we have created, artboard that we have created. We have our impressive skateboarding, which is the photo that we just edited, but also the one that we created before, the ice skate, like Sean would say, the ice skate on the iMac. And what I want to show you here that is fundamental when working on Spark is that once we select an image, as I said, that was a photo that was already nicely created and very easy to edit. If we want to go ahead and add a background, so for example, I'm going to go ahead and just pick a background that has a chromatic look, because we've seen that the skateboard had that chromatic look as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick something quite nice and cool here and just simply click on it in order to add that as a background. All we have to do is to work on these layers and click and drag in order to drag the layer below. But now we have this white background. So how do we remove the background? Now select the image, and on the right under edit image, you will be able to select remove background. Now from here, you will see that Spark is analyzing the image and went and deleted some of the areas of the image. You can always click on restore in order to bring back all the pixels that have been erased. In this case, there was a lot of white in the background, and we can see why Spark decided to deleted all these part of the image as well. But this was fairly easy. Again, as I said, we only have like perhaps 5 minutes left, so I don't have time to work with these in detail, but you can go ahead and zoom as much as you want on your image and really work on this detail in terms of restoring or erasing part of the mask when you want, and then click on done when you are done with your mask. And as you can see, we're able to add this image inside this background, which is fantastic and is pretty much ready to be posted on social media. You can go ahead and move it, and again, you can always click on the image and edit, cut out, and come back on edit the image. But what I wanted to show you, I'm going to go ahead and delete that for now, is that happens also for more complex images, included the images that we've been edited so far. So I'm going to go ahead into impressive, select the image of Mikey. Again, simply click once on the image in order to bring it inside your canvas. We can click and drag one of the corner of the bounding box in order to resize it. And then here, click on remove background and see the magic happen. So as you can see, in just one click, our wonderful Spark remove background has done a pretty fantastic job. We completely deleted the environment. Again, you can go ahead and erase and restore like I showed you before, so you can bring in more elements or bring out elements depending on what you want. So it looks like we lost a little bit of the skate here. we can always go ahead and edit the cutout and make sure that we restore this area of the image. As you can see, everything that is in red will be the part that is masked out. And I would strongly recommend to zoom in order to make sure that we really do a good job when revealing our image here. So again, I do not have much time to spend in terms of editing the actual cutout, but I would strongly recommend once you zoom in, you can see it's very easy. All you have to do here is just simply click and drag as if you're painting inside your image in order to bring back those details. But the beauty is that pretty much our wonderful Spark has done the majority of the job. So, you know, you're gonna have to refine some details. So it looks like a part of the hoodies is there, other part of the images are there, but overall, we created an image of our product with a fancy background in just a click. Now here I had a version of the image that I already selected. And I want to show you how you can try different backgrounds as well. I know that we got perhaps 2 minutes to go. So once you create a background with a cutout that you already like, what happens if you're not happy with the background that you selected and you want to replace it? Well, again, one click. We like things nice and easy here. So all you have to do is to select the image that you place as a background, and all you have to do is to click on replace. Once you select replace, you're going to be able to select backgrounds, and you can go ahead and select any background that you want and use it as a background for your image. You're going to just have to wait a second because we are, oops, I selected the wrong image here. Make sure that you select the right image. I was actually replacing, which is pretty cool. Like Spark was attempting to replacing our mask with the image. Now make sure that you select the background, and then you can go ahead and try out all the different images that you had there. Let me see if I go ahead and find that super cool background that we were using before. I think he had a lot of different tones here. So as you can see what I've done, I've selected it and he added a new image. You can always delete it, select the previous background by clicking on it, click on replace, and now we can select the image that we wanted before. Fantastic, is ready to go. Other things that you can do here is, of course, add any text. You can save time by adding text that is already templated here from the template that are present, and something that perhaps you want to type here by editing the text. It's something that we can take from the impressive website that it says, we plant trees, because that's why I love this brand so much, because they plant trees. Fantastic. So this is, of course, something that I've done pretty quickly. I will perhaps work a little better in terms of changing the background. Also, maybe we can flip it. So we have our skateboard inside the lighter side, and then we create some of the negative space for our image there, for our text, so we have a little bit more of contrast. Of course, if you wish to change the color of the text, you can always do so by selecting your text and then clicking on text color. And not only you can try as many colors as you want from the custom, but you can also use the eyedropper tool, and perhaps you can select some colors from your image and your brand. And if you want to go back, Command Z works on Spark as well. Now, unfortunately, it's pretty much time to go, which is incredible. When we have fun, it's always time goes too fast. And what we're going to do here is to make sure that we click on download. In order to download your image, you can select a JPEG and then click on start download. And you will see that the image downloads real quick. You can select where to place it. And then I will strongly suggest to go ahead and perhaps check their Instagram at Impressive Skateboarding, because I know that they will be using this asset over here that we created on Spark. So I hope that you find this useful. I hope that you'll be able to use all these wonderful tricks in both Lightroom and Spark. And remember, in order to access your photo, all you have to do is to create a new image, and from there, from photos, you can access your Lightroom library. It's time to go. Beautiful to be here with you again. Like a pro, go and grab a glass of water and come back. There is a ton of fun as usual here at Adobe Live. Thank you so much for your time with me, and I look forward to see you soon. Bye everybody. Have a wonderful Thursday.